Hare Krishna, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita series. We are on chapter 10 and today we will cover the Chaturshloka, the 4 essential verses of the entire Srimad Bhagavad Gita that capture the essence of Bhakti Yoga. So before we get started, we will recite our usual Mangalacharan prayers, which are very important for receiving the blessings of previous acharyas, the Lord, and his associates. These are given in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita as it is, which I assume you all have, and not only have, but have it in front of you right now. So please follow along. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Yutah Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. All right. So I will share my screen from here and we will start with the Chaturshloka 10.8, 9, 10 and 11. 4 very essential verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, or which capture the essence of Bhakti Yoga. So we did 10.8 last time, but for sake of completeness, I will quickly cover 10.8 and then we will have detailed discussion on the remaining 3. And if time permits, we will go to the next several verses as well. So, one second, I need to get my iPad pencil. Okay. All right. What happened? Okay. Okay. Hopefully you can see the screen here.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right. So we are going to talk about the Chaturshloka. Four shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. So 10.8. So by the way, this is going to be the ending of Bhakti Yoga section, more or less. I will explain what I'm saying. At this point, at the end of 10.11, that is Lord Krishna's culmination or completion of Bhakti Yoga. So these 4 verses, the 4 Chaturshlokas, are like the conclusion, or in a technical paper or something, you have the last paragraph known as conclusion. What are sort of the final results or the final essence? So Chaturshlokas are there. Of course, there is the remaining part of chapter 10, which is 10.12 to 42, entire chapter 11 and 12. This is also in the Bhakti Yoga section, but this is then the Q&A part of Bhakti Yoga. Like we do our Bhagavad Gita class, and then we reserve time for question answers. So we say class is over, theory part is over, now you can have question answer. Similarly, the rest is question answer between Arjuna and Krishna. So you can see that's so much question answer that happens between them. So that's why I'm saying that these 4 verses are the culmination, the final conclusion of Bhakti Yoga. So let's get started. 10.8. So as usual, please keep the Bhagavad Gita in front of you, follow along with very careful attention. Don't do other things. And if possible, turn on your cameras so we can have a little bit more of a classroom experience. So 10.8, Lord Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam budha bhava samanvitaha. So the first point is that the devotees of the Lord understand something, not something, they understand fully, or they try to understand fully about who is Krishna. And the most essential understanding of Lord Krishna comes from the fact that he is the source of everything. And I will, so he is the source of the entire material and spiritual worlds and everything that exists within those worlds. Not just at a physical level. He is our source, he's our father, he is the father of the trees, the plants, the fishes, animals, the planets, galaxies, everything, but also of our experiences. If we experience pleasure or pain, we experience love, or we experience some pain or some envy from others, the devotees consider that also to be coming from Krishna. So everything is coming from Krishna. Sarvam, aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. So the Lord is explaining it from both sides. Everything is coming from me, and everything, or I am the source of everything, and everything comes from me. So keeping both the things, the source and the objects, as the focus of the sentence, Lord Krishna is saying, everything comes from me, and I am the source of everything. And we will cover this point a little bit in more detail in the next verse. Then the next C and D. So 10.8, A, B, C, and D. So we just covered A and B, the first 2 quarters of this verse. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. C, iti matva bhajante mam. Iti matva means knowing this, bhajante mam. So the bhajante mam, it has 2 parts, C1 and C2. Iti matva, and then bhajante mam. So this bhajante mam is not in a vacuum. Whatever is the spelling of vacuum, I think there's a single C, vacuum. This bhajante mam is not in a vacuum. This bhajante mam is with the consciousness of the previous 2 sentences, that everything comes from Krishna. So everything comes from Krishna is basically Krishna consciousness. Being conscious of the fact that everything is coming from Krishna. And in that consciousness, that is iti matva. So iti matva means you don't forget the A and B. You remember that. You are conscious of that fact that everything is coming from Krishna. And in that consciousness, the devotees do bhajan of me, bhajante mam, in that consciousness. This is extremely important. Many of us, when we are doing bhajan, our mind goes elsewhere, or the bhajan becomes more sometimes like a music, or sometimes we even forget why we are doing bhajan. We are just doing, it's in the flow with the devotees, nice kirtan is going on, and but all the time we should be conscious of Krishna. Sometimes the thing I use from when I am sitting in the temple and bhajan, very nice kirtan bhajan is going on, I feel so fortunate, or I tell myself that I'm so fortunate that I'm able to do here bhajan. My mother is very old. She's 86, 87 years old. She cannot even move much. So she cannot go to the temple and experience this bhajan. Now, of course, she may do bhajan in her, bhajan you can do even in the jungle, in the cave. Feeling fortunate that my body is not so lame, is not so dilapidated that I cannot do bhajan. Or there can be 1,000 other things to feel gratitude, to feel fortunate that I am able to do bhajan. And thank you, my dear Lord Krishna, that my body is able to do bhajan. That is one way of iti matva, being in Krishna consciousness, that thank you, my Lord Krishna, I'm able, thank you for giving me the ability to do bhajan. So in whatever way that you are doing bhajan, whenever you are doing bhajan, be Krishna conscious. Don't let your mind wander elsewhere. Oh, what is this? Is this person also doing bhajan? Oh, is he seriously doing or not? Being a judge of everybody else. Oh, what is he wearing? Oh, he's wearing a nice clothes. His dhoti is nicely pressed. Oh, he didn't press his dhoti for 2 weeks or didn't wash it. There are all stains of dal and, whatever else, haldi on the dhoti, whatever may be the case. Don't let your mind go into these, oh, the light is, it's too, bright, or so many things come to the mind, and don't let those things as much as possible come to the mind. And there can be many other even more degraded thoughts that can come to one's mind. So this bhajante mam and iti matva is very important. Being Krishna conscious, do Krishna's bhajan. And the D line is also in the similar spirit, budha bhava samanvita, that these devotees do this bhajan with great bhava. Bhava samanvita means with a lot of bhava injected into their consciousness, with lot of bhava, love, devotion. And there can be so many other moods, mood of gratitude, mood of humility. In that mood, one is doing the bhajan of the Lord. So it is very important to maintain a very, very devotional mood while doing the bhajan. That is when the potency, that is when the churning or the cleansing of the heart, the churning of the cleaning, the vacuum cleaner, because by doing bhajan, our heart gets cleaned. And when we do it with this mood, then our heart becomes cleaner and cleaner, and Krishna can reside in the heart. So this is a process of cleaning our heart to make a very clean, nice place for Krishna to stay. Recently, I gave a class in the temple. I think I uploaded it on the channel. Cleaning the heart, something like that. I forget the title, what I gave. Cleaning the heart, because the heart is a temple, because Paramatma is sitting in the heart. So therefore, we must clean our heart, and the process of cleaning the heart is through bhajan. Okay.
This Buddha here has come for intelligent bhakt or something.
No, the intelligent bhakta, yes, it is. Now, intelligent bhakta, yes, but intelligence does not mean your IQ or how many marks you got in your high school or your university exam.
Samajhdar.
That is not the intelligence. The intelligence is the fact that when doing bhajan, I must be Krishna conscious.
Right.
That is the intelligence. A foolish person is one, the opposite of intelligent, is one who is just doing bhajan like a parrot, but his mind is not Krishna conscious. There is no iti matva.
Right. Right.
And that is foolishness. One who has iti matva and is doing bhajante mam, that is what is called as intelligent bhajan.
Correct.
All right.
Right.
Intelligence can be in many ways. It just doesn't mean how many marks you got or whatever is the usual intelligent we call it today in today's world. Okay. Sometimes when there is a, fight going on with the other person and you see the other person is strong, you back off and you run away. Sometimes that is intelligence.
Correct.
Somebody will say, oh, you are a coward. The other person may, try to be, macho and get beaten up in the process. What is the intelligence? So
Even
sometimes,
can be intelligent.
so material intelligence is, not applied here.
Right.
10.9. Now 10.9 is a very, very monumental verse. Among the Chaturshloka verses. There is some disturbance. Kindly mute yourself. Thanks. Is a very monumental verse in the sense that it gives us a very clear to-do understanding. To-do for devotees. We all have been programmed in the material world to be given prescription. Just tell me what to do. Okay, all this is theory. I understand theory. Now tell me what to do next. What exact step I need to take. So 10.9 is going to give that to do. And it has two very important to do components, which I will cover. But it is also focusing on the consciousness. The consciousness in which you must do these to do's is not lost here. Please pay very careful attention. Today's class is a little important. So let us start with 10.9. And this will be a little long discussion. And I will try to summarize, or I will try to give an essence. This will take about 30 minutes, maybe. Please stop everything that you are doing if you would like to understand the essence of performing Krishna Bhakti. What is the essence of Krishna Bhakti in terms of executing Bhakti? How to do Krishna Bhakti properly? That is going to be explained now. So please pay very careful attention and you will hopefully benefit. I benefited it a lot by reading this verse, reading the various commentaries, hearing many lectures on this verse, making the notes, or revising my previous year's notes, and so on. So I hope to pass on that benefit to all of you. So the verse is Mad chittah mad gatah prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So let us, the translation by Srila Prabhupada is the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So let us go through this verse again. Mad chitta mad gatah prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. What it means? Mad chitta mad gata pranam. So 10.9, A, B, C, and D. Every verse in Bhagavad Gita, more or less, is divided into 4 parts. Mad chitta mad gata prana. This is Krishna consciousness. That mad chitta means Keeping me, chitta means mind. Mad chitta means keeping me in their mind, or their mind on me, focusing their mind on me. Mad chitta. Mad, again, mad means me. Mad gata prana. Mad gata means meri taraf aa rahe hain, coming to me. Mad gata. Prana means their entire pran, their entire existence, their life. Pran typically means life air. Pran sukh rahe hain, people say. So it means they are like, they cannot breathe. So their entire pran, their entire life is towards Krishna, is devoted to Krishna, devoted to me. Mad gata prana. All right. That is Krishna consciousness. Basically, in a sense, it is Krishna consciousness. That one is always thinking of Krishna, always thinking what Krishna likes, that is what I should be doing. If Krishna were to be immediately come in front of me, if he were to be become present, he should feel happy with what I am doing. That yes, you are trying sincerely, you are doing good thing. Like Lord Ram, when bridge was being built, all the little squirrels were busy working hard. There was no squirrel who was resting under the tree saying, okay, thoda chai pani. Not like that. They were all always working hard. And whenever Lord Ram saw any squirrel, it was running, doing something for the Lord. So like that. And what is that to do? The to do is, number 1 is in part B, and number 2 is in part C. So that is B and C. What is it? Bodhayanta parasparam means associating with each other or conversing with each other. So this means association of devotees. Get together with devotees of the Lord. So bhakti in isolation is possible, but it is harder. Together it becomes very easy. So in association of, we can complete this sentence as in association of devotees, kathayantascha mam nityam. Katha, kathayantascha means katha, or the literal meaning could be stories. Mam of Krishna. Nitya means always. So what the sentence is, in association of devotees, they speak or they converse stories of me always, which means that basically they are always engaged in Krishna Katha in association of devotees. This is the to do. It has 2 parts, Krishna Katha and association. These are the 2 parts. All right. And this Krishna Katha is none other than, it just does not mean the Katha or the stories. It could mean anything. It could mean Nama Kirtana, Nama Japa. It could mean Kirtana or Bhajan. It could mean, the stories, the various Leelas, Leela Parayana, or so many other forms it can take. So all that is counted as Krishna Katha. Even the Krishna Shravana, the Shravan, Bhagavat Shravana is also Krishna Katha. So it can take many, multiple forms it can take, doesn't matter. But doing that, Kathayantascha mam nityam, always. Now for us, it always may not mean 24/7. We need to sleep, we need to eat, we need to do our duty. That is fine. But whatever time is remaining, whatever free time we have, we should start with that. Okay. So Kathayantascha mam nityam. And what they get out of it is, the D is tushyanti cha ramanti cha, that they feel very, very blissful and very satisfied by doing this activity. So satisfaction automatically comes when done in this mood of Krishna consciousness, in the mood of Mad Chitta, Mad Gata Prana. Okay, so the result is bliss and satisfaction. Okay, so this is what is describing the external plus internal activity. You can say internal is not activity, or activity and mood. So we can say external activity. Let me rub this. And internal mood, both 10.8 and 10.9 of devotees. Is that clear? All right. Now we will do some discussion on 10.8 and 10.9. Discussion means I will be the speaker and you will be the listener. Okay, so that is discussion for now. Then you can ask questions. If you have questions, put it in the chat, raise your hand. But when I say discussion, I mean some more elaboration or explanation, because this is extremely important, which I gathered through my notes over the years, and I absolutely want to make sure that you understand this. And I will clarify some very, very deep misconceptions people have about the process of bhakti. So the discussion or the elaboration is on the process of Krishna bhakti. Okay, so please pay very careful attention. This is the important part that I want to share with you. It will take about, I would say, 25-30 minutes. So again, some of the points I will repeat from the previous discussion, but a holistic discussion on the process of Krishna consciousness, some misconceptions, pitfalls, and how to overcome them, and what is the overall process of Krishna bhakti. So this is going to be the summary of Krishna bhakti. So 10.8 and 10.9, what this is describing is what devotees do. What they do, internal and external, just like we discussed. 10.8, 10.9 is all about devotees, internal mood and external activity, what devotees do. 10.10 and 10.11 is what Lord Krishna does for his devotees. So as you can see, it is two-way. What we do and what Krishna does. Both are being described. Bhakti is a relationship. It's not just one way. So you do something and the other party does something. Both are covered in these 4 verses. So what do we do? So 10.8 and 10.9 is our responsibility. So our responsibility is to, like we just discussed, be Krishna conscious. Be completely Krishna conscious. That is our responsibility. What is the meaning of aham sarvasya prabhavo or mattah sarvam pravartate? In this context, what do devotees do? It's not like aham sarvasya prabhavo, oh, all the planets are coming from Krishna, all the galaxies, all the living entities, everybody is coming from Krishna. Okay, great. Checkbox, done. That is a very theoretical understanding of aham sarvasya prabhavo. The practical understanding of aham sarvasya prabhavo for devotees, for us, is that even if something bad is happening to me, it is somehow Krishna's arrangement. If I am suffering, even that is coming from Krishna. My suffering, my problems, whatever is there, my ailments, they are also coming from Krishna. Just like all the galaxies are coming from Krishna, even my problems are coming from Krishna. That is the meaning that the devotees attach to Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. And iti matva means yeh mante hue, matva mante hue, iti matva yeh mante hue, that whatever is going on in my life, the good and the bad, is coming from Krishna. Accepting that as the arrangement of the Lord. For some reason, there is a plan. So accepting everything in my life, everything means sarvasya or sarvam, whatever is described in 10.8. In my life, putting it in that context of my life, as accepting everything in my life as an arrangement of Krishna. Knowing that his plan is much, much better than my plan or my expectation. I expect to be happy, I expect to be rich, I expect to be beautiful, I expect to have great relationships. But his plan is much better than my plan. Knowing this as an arrangement, his plan is the arrangement of Krishna for our life, is the real meaning of Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, iti matva, or mattah sarvam pravartate. So knowing this, one should do bhava samanvitaha. One should bhajante mam bhava samanvitaha. One should continue his bhajan. With lot of bhava or devotion. Many people give up their bhajan. Now, bhajan just doesn't mean singing bhajan. You understand, I think, what is bhajan I'm talking about. Krishna consciousness, your shravan, kirtan, all those aspects of bhajan. Many people give it up. Oh, Krishna is not reciprocating, or why is this happening to me? God does not exist. And they give up their bhajan. So continuing one's bhajan, accepting everything as the arrangement of the Lord. And how does that happen? How that happens is by cultivating the qualities of, there are some very, very important qualities of humility, tolerance, sense control or controlling sense gratification, compassion, simplicity, and there are a lot of many other qualities. There's a long list. And through this, one can accept, by these qualities, one is able to accept everything as an arrangement of the Lord. By developing humility, by developing tolerance, one is able to accept everything as an arrangement of the Lord. I hope you're following what I'm saying. When one is disgusted, please listen carefully. When one is disgusted by other people's duplicity, hypocrisy, their cheating or deceit, arrogance, harshness, all these things, has anybody not experienced this in their life? Is anybody here so lucky to have never experienced other people's hypocrisy, duplicity, deceit, harshness, indifference? Those we have loved, they show indifference, cold behavior, harshness. So when one is disgusted by these things, yet does not react to it, does not revolt, is not agitated by this kind of behavior, takes the complete shelter of the Lord, that no matter, it's okay if they are cheating me, if they are ignoring me, my Lord will never ignore me. They might not accept me in their shelter. They might throw me away from their circle, so to say, their inner circle. But I am always in the innermost circle of Bhagwan. This is that aspect of bhakti, or taking shelter, is rakshishyati iti vishwaso. I hope you can relate what I'm saying. The 6 limbs of surrender. Rakshishyati iti vishwaso. That having this vishwas, that Krishna will always do raksha of me. That is the state of mind. With that tolerance, with that humility, that no problem. If he is berating me, or if he is dishonoring me, no problem. I will accept it, because it doesn't matter. My Lord will never dishonor me. I am very dear to my Lord. And with that mood of tolerance and humility, then one can do this kathayantascha mam nityam in the most effective way. That is the state of mind in which one can do Krishna Kirtana. I hope you are following the whole sequence. Okay. So this by cultivating these qualities, one is able to accept. This is the meaning of aham sarvasya prabhavo, mattah sarvam pravartate. This is the meaning. And in this mood, iti matva bhajante mam. This is the meaning of mad chittah, keeping the mind on Krishna, not about all the bad things other people have done to us. Mad gata prana means we must try to become dear to Krishna. Mat gata, not my friend gata, or my, mother, father gata, or my husband or wife gata, or my boss gata. No point in becoming dear to them. We are so focused on making other people happy. Now, I don't mean to say now you should start completely being a jerk. That's not the point. But the focus of our life is not to live by other people's, or to please others, or to gain their acknowledgement and acceptance, to become part of their inner circle, so to say. That is not the goal. The goal is to become part of inner circle of Krishna. Mad gata prana. In that mood, bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam, one should do. In that mood. So that is the meaning of this verse. That is the best way, the absolute effective way. That's the pure way. Then the tap is fully opened of tushyanti cha ramanti cha. You have no idea how much bliss and satisfaction, how it will just flow like an open tap, fully open tap. The bliss and satisfaction will flow if in that mood you do kathayantascha mam nityam in bodhayanta parasparam amongst devotees. So I hope that sequence is very clear. I want to show you a verse by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. The most recent incarnation of Lord Krishna is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared 500 years ago in India. And he never wrote anything. He just gave instructions to his disciples. His 6 primary disciples are the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. The chief among them, the senior most among these 6 Goswamis is who?
Rup
Who is it?
Goswami ji. Rup Goswami ji.
Yes, Sri Rupa Goswami. Okay. And when we sing our Mangalacharan prayers, we basically, the first verse after the Om Ajnana Timirandhasya, the next verse is exclusively for Sri Rupa Goswami. He is so important. Let me show you that verse. This verse. So first we have Om Ajnana Timirandhasya. So basically this is towards one's Guru, that the Guru is opening the eyes to removing the darkness and opening one's eyes. This one is the one. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam. So this Rupa is the object, or is this verse is directed to Rupa Goswami. Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam. It says that when will Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet. So this verse is exclusively dedicated. The second verse of Mangalacharan is for Sri Rupa Goswami. Anyway, why I'm mentioning that is because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave a lot of instructions to his disciples, primarily Sri Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, and they wrote extensive, and Jiva Goswami through Rupa and Sanatan Goswami wrote extensively they wrote. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never left any written instructions except for 8 verses. Only are the direct writings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These 8 verses, and this is known as Shiksha-ashtakam. Shiksha-ashtakam, we can break it down as that. The Ashtakam means 8 verses of Shiksha, of the most important instructions of the entire Vedic literature. So entire Vedic literature can be compressed into 8 verses by Sri Rupa Goswami, by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna. And we will see those. We'll see the 3rd verse there, how important this is. So this is available in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the last book, Antya Lila, and the last chapter. You can see here, chapter 20 is the Shiksha-ashtaka prayers. And we will need to, so this is having the 8 verses. Of course, this chapter has many more verses, or many more stanzas, 157, but 8 are the writings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rest are explanations in the form of verses. So which one is the Trinadapi Sunichena? Let me find out. Hold on. Yes, 21. So again, I want to make sure you remember how we connect to this. What is the connection to our discussion? The connection to our discussion is, I was explaining the importance of these 8 verses so far, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has written only these 8 verses. If some person doesn't speak ever, and he only speaks 2 lines, That means 2 lines are very important, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never left anything in writing. He only left 8 verses in writing. Therefore, they are so important. I want to establish the importance of the Shiksha-ashtakam, how important this is. And the reason why I'm talking about is the mood in which to do kirtan, Hari Kirtan. The mood is that of humility, tolerance, sense control. In that, we have to cultivate. This word is important, cultivating these qualities, and then we get the full effect of kirtan. Are you following? That is the context of this discussion currently. And that is exactly what is there in the 3rd verse of Shiksha-ashtakam. And that 3rd verse is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila, chapter number 20, verse number 21. You can find Shiksha-ashtakam as 8 verses in many places. You can Google for Shiksha-ashtakam and you will get 8 verses. It's very, very important to memorize. It starts with Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam. So you can recite and understand the meanings. So 21st verse is there here. So let me share that verse. It says, Trinadapi Suni Chena Taro Riva Sahishnuna Manina Amanadena Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So what is the meaning of this? The first line is Trinadapi Suni Chena. So it means that being lower than Trinadapi means, Trinad means a blade of grass, one single blade of grass. Trinadapi Suni Chena. Su Nichena. Nicha. Nicha means, you understand Hindi, right? Nicha means niche. So Su Nichena. Usse bhi niche. Lower than a grass. How high is a grass? It is the lowest, right? It's not possible to be lower than the grass. It's always the lowest. So being lower than a blade of grass. Trinad Abhi Su Nichena. The next one is Taror Iva Sahishnuna. Next line. Taror Iva Sahishnuna. Sahishnuna. Taru means tree. Sahishnuna means sahen karna. To be more tolerant than a tree. A tree is very tolerant, isn't it? If you throw a stone at a dog, what will the dog do? It will bark at you. If you throw a stone at a cow, the cow may not bark, but it may run away. That is its form of retaliation, to go away. A dog may bark at you as a retaliation. But if you throw a stone on a tree, there is no retaliation. You can cut the tree with an axe, still it doesn't retaliate. So the tree is supposed to be the most tolerant. So lower than a blade of grass, as tolerant as a tree. Taror Iva Sahishnuna. Amanina. Amanina means not expecting any man from others. Amanina. Man dena, but giving respect to everyone. This is the part, this is very important. Man dena. Aap sabko maan dijiye. Dena. Which means you cannot be a jerk. Oh, I don't care about you, you don't care about me. We are good. Hell with you. Mind your own business, I will mind my own business. We go our opposite ways. Not like that. Man dena. You respect them, but don't expect any respect from or anything from anyone. Amanina man dena. Kirtaniya sadahari. In such a mood as in the first 3 lines. Lower than a blade of grass. Considering oneself to be lower than a blade of grass. More tolerant than a tree. And not expecting any man, but giving man to others. In that mood, one can do Kirtaniya Sadahari. Are you following the connection of this to what we have discussed? And this is one whole verse among the 8 verses, the only 8 verses that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has written and given us. This is 1/8 of entire Vedic instruction. This point. So please, dear devotees, try to understand this. How important it is to understand the mood in which, the consciousness in which one should do bhajan. That is when the tap of bliss, Tushyanti and Ramanti, fully opens. Fully opens. All right. So now I have a question for you. So we talked about these qualities of humility, tolerance, simplicity, etc. Who has to develop these qualities? Whose responsibility it is?
Our
Devotee.
the person.
Devotee.
Your responsibility or our responsibility, isn't it? There is a big misconception. Now we are going into the next part. I explained some things, the perfect consciousness, the mood in which to do Hari Kirtan, right? Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Got it? Now there is a big misconception among devotees. Many devotees, and many of you now or maybe in the future might develop this misconception. Okay, so please, you can come back and hear this lecture if you develop that misconception. First, you have to realize, I am developing that misconception which we heard on 2nd September 2022. So let me go, and first you have to identify, then you can come and hear the discussion about it. There's a big misconception. What is the misconception? Is that by doing Hari Kirtana, all good qualities like humility, tolerance, etc., will automatically develop in me. That is the misconception. That my job is to just do Hari Kirtan. I don't have to develop. I can be intolerant. I can, go puke on people. I can be, duplicit. I can cheat others. I can dishonor others. I can say bad things to others, cheat people, do one thing, say one thing. Everything that is the opposite of humility, simplicity, compassionate, kind. I can be all those things, but 2 hours a day, I will do serious Hari Kirtan. And then these qualities will go away automatically due to the process of Kirtan. Just by doing Kirtan, I will become a good person. Many devotees have this misconception. And it's not that they are trying to be a jerk. It's not that they are consciously being in the mode of passion or ignorance, as we say. But they are not working to come in the mode of goodness. They are just where they are. In addition to doing Hari Kirtan or Japa or Shravana, all the activities of bhakti, the sort of the external activities of bhakti, they are not putting effort, determined effort to come in the mode of goodness, to develop these goodness qualities of humility, tolerance, kindness, compassion, simplicity, truthfulness, ahimsa, etc., etc. That whole list is given, will come soon. in the 12th chapter, 13th chapter, 14th chapter, 16th chapter, 18th chapter. It's like full, all these qualities will be fully described in many, many chapters. Are you following the misconception? Okay. So, how many of you think that just by doing Hari Kirtan, but not putting determined effort to develop good qualities, the good qualities will develop automatically? How many of you say, yes, that is correct? It's not a misconception.
Without effort, we cannot. Without effort, we
Okay.
can.
Okay, anyway, so
But by the grace of God, the Lord, by the grace of God, we may develop if we are a good devotee. With Madgat Prana.
so you are kind of saying both sides. So let me explain what we need to do and what the Lord does. So by doing serious, by doing very...
Hare Krishna, in the case of Valmiki, how he changed by simply...
Very nice. That is exactly the example I was going to give. I have these detailed notes here. I can show you here. If you can see my screen, I have Valmiki pointed out here. Can you see? It is in my notes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
So I'm exactly going to talk about that. Exactly. Very nice. Leading to the discussion. Okay. So by doing very serious bhajan, and as again, bhajan means all these activities of bhakti, there will be progress. There will be progress, but it will be, there is a big but. It will be slow. By doing serious bhajan, but not working to develop mode of goodness qualities. The mode of goodness qualities will still develop. Automatically, they will develop, like in the case of Valmiki, but that was much faster. I will come to that. But the progress will be, the development of those good qualities automatically will be very slow. And the speed at which those good qualities will automatically develop will depend on the seriousness of our bhajan. If we do extremely serious bhajan, but don't worry about working on good qualities, developing good qualities, then they will automatically develop proportional to how seriously we are doing our bhajan. How seriously we are taking association of devotees, pure devotees. How strongly we are doing Shravan, Bhagavat Shravan, and how strongly we are doing Bhagavat Seva. So we must be doing that very sincerely and very strongly. And then, yes, those good qualities automatically develop through the mercy of devotees. Through the mercy of devotees. The Lord still remains unhappy that you are not developing those qualities, but the devotees request the Lord, and the Lord can never deny the devotee's request. Now, this is what the next point I was showing in my notes to you all. There are two stories, not just one. Two stories which are extremely instructive, but devotees take them in an extremely misleading way. Okay, it is like thinking that okay, I don't want to give any analogy here, but otherwise it will go all over the place. So the two stories are the transformation of this, his name was Ratnakar, I believe, if I'm not forgetting, who later
Dhaku
became known
Ratnakar.
as Valmiki Muni. And the second example is the transformation of Mrgrari hunter. Both were hunters, who was also transformed. Both were transformed by who? By Narada Muni. So Valmiki Muni was a hunter, and I don't want to spend the time in going through the whole story. You already know it, or you may know it, or you can read about it. But the important part is it took somebody of the caliber of Narada Muni. Please do not try to understand underestimate the position of Narada Muni. He's the son of Brahma, direct born from Brahma. And Narad Muni's association, by his blessing, there was immediate, instantaneous transformation of Mrgrari hunter and Valmiki, both. Are you in contact with Narad Muni? Do we have any hope of having the association of Narad Muni, even for 1 second? Mrgrari hunter was also same thing like Valmiki Muni. He was killing animals, but he was not only killing, he was half killing them. He was killing them, but leaving them little bit alive so that they would struggle in pain and die a very painful death. When Narad Muni saw this, you can read this in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Let me see in my notes. Madhya Lila, chapter number 24, from verse number 229 onwards. The story of Mrgrari hunter is given. And by association of Narad Muni, and you have to pay very careful attention to Narad Muni's, the whole conversation. The moment Narad Muni makes him aware, now of course it is Narad Muni. If you or I would have gone and told him the same thing, it would not have had the same effect, even though the words may have been the same. So the person speaking the words also matters. And that was Narad Muni, who told that you are killing these animals, and in your next future lives, you will have to suffer the same suffering that you are making them go through. And he understood it. He accepted it. Immediately he accepted it. He was like, oh my God, is that true? Now what do I do? What should I do now? And then Narad Muni says that you give up all these bad activities and you become a devotee. And he immediately accepted that instruction. That is the point. And then many devotees just generalize this. Oh, I'm in association of devotees. You know, in my temple, I have these 50 devotees or 500 devotees. We must have a distinction between the level of those devotees and Narad Muni. We just cannot say, oh, anybody who has put tilak and wearing kurta, dhoti, devotee. Okay, I'm in association of devotee. Now I will become like, let me be a jerk. Somebody else will come and transform me. That is the misconception.
In Prachina Barhis also the same concept comes.
All right, thank you. So, thank you. So the point, let's not deviate from the point. And another example is Srila Prabhupada. He transformed so many hippies into devotees. So many of them. It is said that by the time Srila, in 11 years, Srila Prabhupada had 10,000 initiated disciples, almost or approximately. By coming in contact with Srila Prabhupada, these people who were living a very mode of ignorance life, not even mode of passion, mode of ignorance, like drugs and alcohol and all those things, and always sleeping and going crazy. And they became devotees. And of course, that was Srila Prabhupada. But you must not forget, many, many more people came in contact with Srila Prabhupada and did not become devotees. Many of these 10,000 people, after Srila Prabhupada left the planet, they, fell down. Some of them fell down or deviated also. Many of them stayed very strict, very sincere devotees, but not everyone. All right. So one must understand the importance of one's own effort. One must not just, what you call twiddle thumbs and say somebody else will come and transform me or make me a good person. That is the point I am making. It is not somebody else's responsibility unless that somebody else is Narada Muni or somebody of the caliber of Srila Prabhupada. It is extremely rare to have such strong association where it can cause very, very quick transformation. Otherwise, it will be slow. Please try to understand. So please don't be in this mindset that it is, I can go in these two boats, put my leg in two boats, 4 hours, 2 hours of kirtan every day, and 10 hours of materialistic life. Being harsh to others, indifferent, cold, cheating, dishonesty, sense gratification, evil-mindedness, and then I will do kirtan. That is actually counted as one of the very serious offenses against kirtan. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name, thinking that, oh, I am doing kirtana, so I have a license to do these, to be a jerk. That is an offense to kirtan, to doing kirtan. That is like being like the second stone carrier. Remember the story of 3 stone carriers? If you have not heard it, please hear it. It is on our website, gitapdx.com. The second stone carrier who thought that, I will carry my stones and I will cross the river. Na idhar ka, na udhar ka. Dhobi ka kutta. He got vanquished. Na ghar ka, na ghat ka. So the point is, you must put your effort in developing Krishna conscious or Krishna consciousness. In the mood of tolerance, whatever else, simplicity, humility, etc. It is your effort that must be put. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is the one of the great acharyas in our parampara, Srila Prabhupada, then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who also happens to be the father of Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, who is the guru of Srila Prabhupada. He has written at the end of 6th chapter of, he has written a very monumental work called Sri Chaitanya Shiksha-ashtakam. at the end of 6th chapter of Sri Chaitanya Shiksha-ashtakam, he has written this, that he has written it in no uncertain terms, that it is our responsibility to develop these qualities. Now, I know this is taking more than 30 minutes, but I'll still go for some time. So the question is, what is Krishna's role? So everything is our role. We said, it is our responsibility. Your effort. It is our responsibility. What is role of Krishna? So the input is our responsibility. The output is Krishna's responsibility. That is the responsibility of Krishna. That when we do our kirtan in this mood of complete dependence on Krishna, that without you, there is no other shelter. This world is completely meaningless, is not useful. You are my only shelter. And in your shelter, in your dependence, I am doing my kirtan. In that full dependence on Krishna, when we do our kirtan, then he holds our hand and takes us back to Vaikuntha. If that second part is not there, this output means our destination. In chapter 8, Lord Krishna says, Yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. That tad dhama is Vaikuntha dham, Golok dham, Vrindavan dham. So, our destination is Vaikuntha. Our destination should be, or is Vaikuntha dham. So when we do our kirtan in this mood, then Krishna takes us to Vaikuntha. That is his role. If that second part was not there, we can do our kirtan for millions of lifetimes, we will not go to Vaikuntha. But when Krishna sees this person is doing such nice kirtan, with full dependence on me, I will take him to Vaikuntha. So that is Krishna's responsibility. But also, we must accept his hand. I said he hand holds us and takes us. We must accept his hand. He offers his hand to many people. Lord Shri Ram offered his hand to Ravana. He did not take. Bhagwan Krishna offered his hand to so many people, to Duryodhan, to Dhritarashtra. They did not take. So we have to accept his hand. Now, another point. Another misconception, I can say. We think that Krishna's hand will come very late. This is a flip side of the people. Sometimes people are very complacent. Very complacent. Oh, I don't have to do anything. Krishna will make me a good person. That is one side. Another side is, oh, unless I become a perfectly good person, Krishna will not help me. I am completely on my own. So, Krishna will only help once I have fully become a mode of goodness person. This is also misconception. The reality is, or the actuality, reality, or according to Shastra, is what? Krishna's hand comes almost instantly. It comes almost instantly. When we start doing our bhajan, our kirtan, Krishna's hand comes instantly. Then he takes us on the journey to Vaikuntha. it is our duty to not leave his hand. The hand comes instantly, but what happens in some cases is that we leave his hand in the middle or somewhere along the way. And this, please remember, please understand, this is a complex point. So please pay attention to understand this. I will try my best to explain it in a simple way. It is a complex point. And by the way, in the purport of 10.9, Srila Prabhupada has explained this point or has referred to some verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I want to make sure you make a note of these verses. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 19, 151 onwards. I will put it in red color. Probably I have uploaded some class on YouTube. If not, I don't remember. But I have spoken on these set of verses many times in different classes before. It's a very, very important section of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Almost 151 to maybe you can say 170-ish. About 20 verses, let's say. I will show you some of those verses today. And what is written here is that, please pay careful attention. I will summarize and then I will show you the verses. So please listen very carefully. Lord Krishna says, so let me show you the first verse. So we go to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 19, verse number 151. It starts with Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Krishna Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bija. So Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva. So in the Brahmanda, in the universe, there are millions and millions of living entities just going around from one life to another life to another life. They are Brahmite, they are just wandering in the universe. But the Bhagyavan, some of them who start the process, who get some association of devotees, and here that devotee is referred to as Guru. Guru Krishna Prasade Paye. Through the Guru, they receive the Krishna Prasad. And what is that Krishna Prasad? Bhakti Lata Bij. Guru Krishna Prasade Paye. Paye means paya hai, receive kiya hai, or they have found it, or they have received it, accepted it, whatever. Paye. What have they found? A bija. Bija means seed. Seed of what? Bhakti Lata. Bhakti Lata. Lata means a creeper. You must have seen a creeper plant. The creeper of bhakti, which goes from here to Vaikuntha. It keeps going up like this. Keeps climbing up and goes all the way to Vaikuntha. But all we get from Guru as a Krishna Prasad, as a Prasad of Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna, is the seed of Bhakti Lata, is the seed of that plant. All right. So if I give you a seed, what should you do? Please tell me. Let me pick
I have to
one
sow
from you.
it. I have to sow it so that it grows.
Yes, Niru Mataji. If I give you a seed, then what would you do?
I have to sow it and water it regularly, and also give a support so that, you know, this lata doesn't fall. I mean, it kind of stands.
Very nice. Excellent. And what else do you have to do? So you have sown it in your garden and you are watering it, giving sunlight.
Yeah.
Now, suppose
Protection.
you have a goat in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give
We have to
protection.
protect also. Yeah.
You have
we
to protect also from the goat. You have to build a fence around it,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes.
And then what happens when you are watering? Some weeds also come up.
Yeah.
What is the problem that the weeds cause?
I mean, they eat the nutrition of the sand and it doesn't get the
Excellent.
required.
Hamper the growth of the seed.
Hamper the growth of the plant that you are interested in growing. So when you are putting the water, whatever resources you are providing, the weeds take away those resources and nothing is left for the plant and the plant dies. Isn't it? Or its growth is slowed at best. Worst case, the plant dies. Best case, it is slow. Isn't it?
Yes.
So if you want the creeper to grow fast, let us recap what all you have to do. You have to give it water, sunlight, put a fence around it, and remove the weeds. And then it will grow. Correct? And that is exactly the analogy that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses. These are the instructions. These are the chapter name is Instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is chapter 19 title I'm showing you. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs who? Sri Rupa Goswami. So these are the instructions which are also recorded, but these are the verbal instructions. So we will go back to 151. So this is the beej that we get from Guru. But who has to do the remaining part? Guru or you?
We have to do it.
You have to do. It didn't say here, or if now I don't have time to go into the whole discussion, but I will show you from 151. You get the seed. I'll just show you the translation part. When a person receives the seed of devotional service, he should take care of it by becoming a gardener and sowing the seed in his heart. He waters it gradually by the process of Shravana and Kirtan. The water is Shravana and Kirtan. But Guru is not doing that for him. He has to do. He. Can you see this word? He should take care of it, not someone else. And then it is given here, the seed, the creeper, the lata grows and it goes to, it reaches the spiritual sky. I'm going quickly and so on. But here, like I said, if you have a goat, here there is the example of a mad elephant. And the mad elephant is Vaishnava Aparadha. If you offend a devotee, somebody who is a pure devotee, and if you cause an offense, then the plant is immediately killed. If a mad elephant puts his leg on the creeper, what will happen to the creeper? Dead. So the mad elephant is Vaishnava Aparadha. Then there are unwanted creepers. These are the weeds that grow on the side, that take away our energy. And these are the creepers for material enjoyment, and liberation from the material world also is counted as a weed. Moksha. Moksha means I want to get liberated. That is also called a sense gratification. It is for my pleasure that I want to be liberated, not as a love for God, but for my own benefit. And anyway, if you did not appreciate that, no problem. And appreciating the fact that moksha is a form of sense gratification is very advanced. But there are other sense gratifications, such as diplomatic behavior, saying something else, doing something else, animal killing, profiteering, mundane adoration, all those things are like weeds. So even when one is doing bhakti, for example, somebody will say, oh, you are doing very nice bhakti. You'll be full of pride. Subtle ways, one has to be very careful to remove these weeds. Okay. So the point is that we have to water this seed. We have to water the seed. And we have to make sure that we cut down the weeds. I'll show you here. As soon as an intelligent devotee, again, intelligent devotee. Intelligent means who knows the difference between weed and the real plant. He sees an unwanted creeper growing beside the original one. Who must cut it? Krishna, Guru. Who must cut it? He must cut it down.
Devotee.
He must cut it down instantly. Then the real creeper Bhakti Lata goes nicely and goes back to Bhagavan, goes back to Krishna. So it is our responsibility to do that.
So one question here.
Hold on, let me finish. I'm almost done. So, last point, pitfall. This goes into the pitfall. And many devotees, including myself, will say that this is very true, very, very true. This pitfall happens in almost all cases. You must work to avoid this pitfall. The pitfall is that when somebody starts coming into Krishna consciousness, starts practicing devotional service, bhakti, immediately he sees a lot of bliss, lot of happiness, a lot of advancement, and a lot of peace in his heart. That is when the initial process is that the seed has been sown and some watering is done. Immediately the seed sprouts. But after some time, you will, if you talk to devotees after 1 year, 2 years, they feel stagnated. Stagnation comes in. Oh, the first 2 years, I felt great. I made a lot of progress, but now I'm not making progress. What has happened? The answer is very clear. They don't cut the weeds, because when you sow the seed and the creeper comes, the weeds will come. It will come. By design, it will come. They don't cut the weeds. They continue, they may continue. Sometimes they stop watering, which means they give up the Shravana and Kirtana. Oh, it is useless. Automatically, all my bad qualities should have gone by now. They didn't go away. It is useless. So why do Shravan Kirtan? That could be one response. Give it up. Or they continue to water, but the water is being soaked up by the weeds. So they are doing Shravan and Kirtan, but not taking care of the weeds, such as, what are the weeds? Pride, envy towards others, desire for sense gratification, Vaishnava aparadh, very, very big one. Etc., etc. Duplicity, the opposite of simplicity. Saying something to someone else, trying to maneuver your way, trying to fool others, trying to manipulate and cheat others, all these things. So they keep doing these things. They keep doing these things, and plus they are doing bhajan. Plus all of this. Then what happens? You are doing the bhajan, so you are providing the water, but that is being sucked up here. And then the progress slows down. And the result is stagnation. Are you following?
So is Guru Kripa required again at that stage?
Yes, Guru Kripa in the form of Shravana and Kirtana constantly, and his instructions to cut the weed. The guru will not come and cut your weed.
Hmm.
Your constant hearing from the guru, who is telling, cut the damn weed.
Hmm.
Identify the damn weed and cut the damn weed. That is guru's role. For after sometimes it becomes noise. Like, you put a doctor told me I need to drink water, just an example. So I got an app on my phone which reminds me to drink water every 2 hours. First week, I drank water every 2 hours. After that, that pop-up that comes on the phone became like noise. I started ignoring. Every time the pop-up comes, time to drink water. Oh, it's a usual thing. Sometimes earlier I used to forget to pay my credit card bill on time. So I put a reminder in my calendar on the 5 days before the due date, pay credit card bill. For 1 year, I did not have any default. I remember to pay. After that time, whenever that pop-up came, pay credit card bill, dismiss. That reminder becomes like a noise. Are you following? Has it happened to you?
Get it.
So we set up a system, but then we get so attuned to it. We think we have it in control, and we start ignoring the system that we have put. So Guru's instructions become like routine. Arey, theek hai, chalta hai, theek hai, karenge. I understand, I know it. Sab malum hai. Sab pata hai mujhe. So like that, but we should not do that. That is the point. That is stagnation. It leads to stagnation. So the point is, you need to realize your responsibility in bhakti, and this is the result, this is the cause of stagnation. Are you following? Some people will say, first 2 years were great. Now I have become stagnated. All right. So now we can see what questions are there. So that was our effort or our responsibility in executing bhakti. That was the sort of the discussion. Now, if time permits, we'll cover the next part of the next 2 verses, or we'll see what's going on. So why the chat is not coming up? Oh, it's coming up here. Okay. We need to learn from our mistakes. Okay, that's right. Please help how to do this with acceptance that everything is coming from Krishna. Yeah, that has nothing to, these two are disjoint points. If your suffering is coming as a result of your mistakes, you did some mistake and now you suffer, right? Obviously, try to avoid the mistake. It's like, I forgot to pay the credit card bill and now I have $100 fine. Okay, I can treat that as Krishna's arrangement. Maybe I had, in my past life, I cheated someone of $100. Now I have, but it doesn't mean next month also I will consciously forget to pay the bill. No, that has nothing. We must learn from our mistakes. That's true. But there are many sufferings that we undergo which are not something we could have taken care of. So the answer is not, or the conclusion is that probably another misconception. Oh, we should never learn from our mistakes. No, that's not what is being said. All right. Hope that is clear. Is putting effort to develop these habits also a type of nishkama karma yoga? Why is that relevant? What yoga it is? Or nishkama karma yoga, we have discussed so many times. It is different. It is to give up, have no attachment to the results of the work that we do. That is nishkama karma yoga. I'm not seeing what is the connection to developing good habits. Okay. And the good habits, we are not talking about the good habits in general. The good habits specific we are talking about are the ones that develop the mood in which to do Hari Kirtana. Those good habits, we are not talking about a general set of broad good habits. No. We are talking about those habits which develop that dependence on Krishna. This is all leading up to the final verse of Bhagavad Gita, which is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. All these material shelters, I have to please this guy, I have to be a good guy to be, good, have a good, whatever, I have to do. All that give up. Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Come just having complete dependence on Krishna. In that mood, so whatever qualities that you develop should be towards developing the mood of complete dependence on Krishna. Mam Ekam Sharanam. Bhagavan says, that's the final verse of Bhagavad Gita, 18.66. So the good qualities we are talking are the ones that go there in that direction, creating that utter dependence on Krishna. So there's no connect. I don't want to complicate the topic by introducing Nishkama Karma Yoga here. Okay, how do you remember so much from so many books? Okay, that's a different topic. You keep talking about it for 15 years, you will remember. How to measure tolerance or simplicity or check and monitor them. Okay, how to... you don't need me to tell you how to measure tolerance or simplicity. I will answer it in a little bit of a, I don't know, I'm not a very polished person for first of all, so please forgive my raw answers. They may be a little raw, little bit red. Okay, may not be very bundled nicely, but I'll say a little bit directly. This whole thing about measuring tolerance, how to measure tolerance and all, simplicity is coming. These questions come up when you are about to try it. And then you are thinking, oh, when I try it, how will I measure? How am I making progress? Those things are very nice for material things, for, coming first in the class, for your medical diagnosis. Or today my blood pressure is this much. If I do exercise, if I do whatever, how do I measure so that I know I'm making progress? Let all that remain in the material domain. Please listen carefully. This tendency to ask how to measure, how to know, is coming from mode of passion. This itself is coming from mode of passion. This tendency to ask, I have to make progress. I have to become tolerant. First, just start becoming tolerant. Start becoming simple. These qualities are so nice. They are so blissful that you will be inspired to do it more and more and more. No need for any measurement. If you love somebody, I hope you have a true love in your life, maybe a child, your husband or wife, or somebody. Do you bother about measuring? You don't. You do something, you see their reciprocation, you feel nice in that relationship, you do more. You do more the next time, you do more. Sometimes you make a mistake, you acknowledge, you ask for forgiveness, you move forward. There is no measurement, no nothing. So the answer is, take it on rather than worrying about how to measure. If you are asking a real application answer, if you are asking, no, you must tell me the theory, then go to another class. Okay? Bhagavad Gita is application oriented. and I am only interested in teaching the application aspect. Okay, so that is the answer to that question. Now, there are ways to measure. One of the ways to measure, or the thing is, you will clearly see a reduction in your material desires. Your material friends will go away very soon. They will see you going more towards devotional side. They will say, "Arey, ye to gaya. Chalo, chodo isko." You will stop getting called into all your late night parties and this and that and that and that. Very nice. You have more time and you can associate. It's not like now you are a loner. Associate with devotees. And devotees also have late night parties. They are called Akhand Naam Kirtan. In Vrindavan, since last 40 years, non-stop Kirtan has been going on. Started by His Grace Ayendra Prabhu. That is known as 24-hour Kirtan Mandali. It has not stopped, come rain or hurricane or 120-degree temperature, whatever, the Kirtan has been, Akhand Naam has been going on. So we also have late night parties. No problem. All right. So that is the way, but don't try to measure. All this measurement is mode of passion. Just put your best foot forward. Okay. All right. Anything else? I don't see any.
One question, sir.
Yes.
When this Guru is giving this seed of the creeper and you are nurturing it very nicely and you are making it grow, everything. But does it make you someone who is adhikari of giving this seed to another person? Or it has to come from the Guru himself again, if it has to be for another person who is a joint devotee or somebody in your group?
So Guru can be, Guru word is not like a Guru who, gives you, puts his thumb on your head and gives you some, and then you feel like, that's not the Guru we are talking about.
Right.
Okay. Guru can be of many, many types. The Guru can be in the form of a book also by Srila Prabhupada, and you read the book and you get the seed.
Inspired.
Okay. So, and a Guru can also, there is another type of Guru who just simply introduces you to the topic. On the road you are going, we go on the road many times and distribute Bhagavad Gitas. So maybe if you are somebody who received a Bhagavad Gita from somebody on the road, you gave him 5 rupees or $5 or whatever, and then you started reading the Bhagavad Gita. That person becomes your, what is known as Margadarshak Guru. The person who showed you
the way.
Showed you the way. You were lost and you were thinking, kahan jana hai? वो कहता उधर जाना है, उधर पान की दुकान है, वहां पे जब वो वहां पे right ले लेना. So he is showing you the way. He is not taking you there, but he is showing you. So he has given you Bhagavad Gita, पढ़ लीजिए, सब ठीक हो जाएगा.
Illuminating the path. Yeah.
So that can be the Guru. The seed is given. Only the seed is given. Now rest is your responsibility. You have to do everything as we had discussed afterward.
Right. Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. I don't see anything else. We'll move on. I'm not going to wait for your questions. So next 10.10 and 10.11. Oh, I'm not sharing anymore. Hold on. .10 and 10.11. So this is Krishna's role or his responsibility, as we call R&R in corporate language, role and responsibility. So what is Krishna's R&R? So Krishna's R&R is very beautiful. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. So very nicely, A, B, C, D again. A and B, Lord Krishna is giving a summary of 10.8 and 10.9. That those who do 10.8 and 10.9, Tesham means those who, those people, Tesham, they, Tesham, they, Satata Yuktanam, Satata means always, Yuktanam means engaged. Yukta, जैसे युक्त हैं हम, किसी कार्य में युक्त हैं. युक्त means busy or engaged. Satata Yuktanam, in Satata Yuktanam in what? In doing sense gratification? No, then what? Who can give the right
Bhakti.
answer?
Bhakti.
No, you have to give according to the verse. I want to see if you have the book in front of you or not.
Constantly
Devotional
engaged,
service.
Bhakti.
Devotional service.
constantly engaged
I
with
just read the verse.
Devotional service.
No. Satata Yuktanam in what? Give me the precise answer.
Bhaktam Priti Purva.
Bhajatam.
Bhajan.
Bhajatam?
Bhajan.
How? How? Bhajatam? How?
Priti.
Prem Purvak.
Priti
Prem Purvak.
Purvak. Prem.
Purvakam. Very nice. So those who are busy in doing Priti Purvak Bhajan means loving bhajan, bhajan with love. Now we can put the remaining words, devotional service with love, bhakti, all those things. So you can see very clearly Lord Krishna is saying those who are always engaged in bhajatam priti purvakam, full of love, priti purvaka. Purvaka means full of, 100%.
Bhara hua.
Bhara hua. Priti purvakam bhajan. Then what does Krishna do? So we covered A and B. C. Dadami. Dadami means I give. Dada means give. Dadami means I give. Bhagwan is saying Dadami. What does Bhagwan give?
Buddhi.
Buddhi yoga. He gives the intelligence. Buddhi yogam. Tam. Tam means unko. To them. So Bhagwan is saying, I give them the buddhi to do what? To give up good qualities? What is the exact one? I give them the buddhi for?
To come to me. To
Mam
reach to me.
Yena mam upayanti te. Mam upayanti. Mere paas kaise aana hai? The directions, Google map directions. Go left, go right, do this, do that, do that. I give them the buddhi to come back to me. Are you following?
Yeah.
So we have to do our bhajan, then he will hold our hand and take us. That's what I meant. All right. We have to, he gives us the intelligence so that we can go back to him. So the translation is those who are constantly devoted, satata yuktanam, to serving me with love, bhajami, bhajatam priti purvakam, to serving me with love. I give the understanding. Dadami, I give the understanding. Buddhi yogam tam. Yena mam upayanti te, by which they can come to me. Are you following? That is what Krishna does. He sees this person is doing so nicely. Then he takes us back. All right. So the only qualification needed by devotees is what? Is it the intelligence of how to go to Vaikuntha? No. The only qualification is loving bhajan or katha, Krishna katha, in association. These are the qualifications. Intelligence, is it a qualification? No, it is not a qualification. And anyone can do this. There is no material qualification needed. No material qualification. Everyone is eligible. The capacity to love is present in every human being. Not only in human being, it is present even in animals. What to say of humans? Humans can love in much more deeper ways with more emotion. The capacity to love is present in all living entities. In humans, it is most deeply or most powerfully present. Okay. And Krishna Katha. Everybody can do Krishna Katha. If you can do Bollywood Katha, definitely you can do Krishna Katha. And finally, 10.11. Again, we see Krishna's role. And Krishna's role as a sort of a special action. The speciality is coming up. That Krishna does this on a very, very special basis. Only for devotees. It's not like, oh, if you are doing nice kirtan, I will hold your hand. If you are doing something else, I will do it. Basically, you know, there is many other things where Krishna plays the role. No, Krishna has invented the law of karma. He has put at the top of it. Who he has put at the top? Who is the sort of the master enforcer of law of karma? Who is it? Yamraj.
Yamraj.
Okay, you know, he's the guy, you know, saying you did this, you did this. He has the whole list of your whole, you know, kacha chitta, as we say, the whole, all the good and bad. So he has appointed Yamraj for all those things, for all the people. This is the only thing he says where he personally participates. So that special action will come. Tesham eva anukampartham. So I'm reading 10.11. Anukamparthan aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayasmi atma bhavastho jnana deepena bhasvata. So tesham, again to these people, same thing like tesham satatayuktanam. So everything is starting with tesham. So both verses are starting with tesham, means to those who are doing 10.8 and 10.9. That is the meaning of tesham. Tesham is referring to that devotees, correct? To those people, tesham eva anukampartham, anukampa artham. Anukampa means mercy, special, very, very rare mercy. Artham, for the purpose of showing them mercy. Aham, I, aham ajnanajam tamaha. That I remove the darkness. Tamaha, the darkness. I remove ajnanajam, which is coming due to ajnana. So the devotees, I give them the intelligence by which they can come to me. They may still have some lingering, either it could be doubts, or it could be some bad qualities. Okay. Aham ajnana. This is the ajnana. Due to the darkness, that darkness is there. Aham ajnanajam tamaha. This ajnana is there. The darkness is there because of this ajnana. Nashayasmi. I destroy these lingering doubts. So it is not the misunderstanding of this verse is that, oh, if I am doing my bhajan, then Bhagwan will destroy all my bad qualities. No, that is not the case. Any lingering, any last remaining, but the majority of the effort has to be ours. Nashayasmi atma bhavastho jnana deepena bhasvata. Nashayasmi because I am sitting in the heart, atma bhavastho. That's why that's how I destroy, by jnana deepa, by lighting, by bhasvata means lighting up the jnana deepa. So I want to just show you the purport written by Srila Prabhupada. Here, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, 10.11. So in the purport is, but even if a devotee, where is that? It is in the first paragraph. Yeah, here. Even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or of his spiritual masters. So suppose if he is not very intelligent, he cannot understand the literatures like Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, or the instructions of his spiritual master, he cannot understand the class. But the point is, if he is sincere in his devotional service. So who is sincere? The devotee is sincere. The sincerity is the responsibility of the devotee, not of Krishna. If he is sincere in his devotional service, then he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. Then Krishna helps. So the first responsibility of executing sincere bhakti is on the devotee. And then Krishna helps. Therefore, the only qualification is that one carry out devotional service. Now, not devotional, not Srila Prabhupada didn't stop there. Devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, which means on complete dependence on Krishna. And that will not come. Please try it. You cannot, we can have a long vivad. We can have long debate whether it is possible or not, but I am not interested. You try it out. Try to be fully Krishna conscious without having complete dependence on Krishna. Having this mentality, I will revolt, I will be agitated, I will take out my anger on that one, I will deal with that guy, I will do this, I will do that. All that is going on in your head. And at the same time, you are being fully Krishna conscious. It will not happen. Not going to happen. Never. It will only happen when you develop the qualities. You develop the qualities of tolerance, simplicity, humility, trinadapi sunichena, lower than a blade of grass, taroriva sahishnuna, being more sahanshil, tolerant than a taru, tree, amanina, man dena. Then only you can do full Krishna conscious devotional service, kirtaniya sadahari. Then Krishna will hold your hand and take you. All right. That is the summary of Krishna consciousness that we have covered in today's class. Okay. So that is the completion, or the, let me see, I have some more notes on a different page. Yeah. And also, yes, one last point here, when Lord Krishna says that I destroy the darkness in the heart, our acharyas also explain that the Lord provides for our material and spiritual needs to execute bhakti. For a devotee who is making sincere progress, who's striving hard. Again, please remember this sort of diagram: input and output. Okay, so when Krishna sees that we are doing this nicely, then he provides for our material needs so that we can continue to execute bhakti sincerely. That is embedded within that yoga kshemam vahamyaham, is embedded within nashayasmi atma bhavastho, that ajnanajam ajnanajam tamaha nashayasmi atma bhavastho includes yoga kshemam vahamyaham. If you know what I'm saying, which verses connect. Okay, so that is the ending of today's class. So we covered Chaturshloka, and we covered sort of the whole summary of Bhakti Yoga, the process of bhakti, what is our responsibility, what is Krishna's responsibility, what are some of the pitfalls to avoid, what are some of the misconceptions, why stagnation happens, and how to overcome all those things we have covered. So I hope you understood that. Any last questions? I have two quick announcements. So let me make the announcements while you are thinking. So tomorrow is the, at least according to our calendar, according to my longitude, latitude in Portland, West Coast, tomorrow is Radhashtami. This is the after Janmashtami, or one can say for devotees, Radhashtami is more important than Janmashtami. This is the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. So please, again, try to do some very sincere bhajan. Bhajan can be in many, many forms, okay? Tomorrow, according to your date, time, place, whatever the calendar, please engage in sincere bhajan on the occasion of Radhashtami tomorrow. Second point, I had announced about Bhadra Purnima, which is on 10th September, a very nice opportunity to obtain Srimad Bhagavatam or gift a whole set of Srimad Bhagavatam to somebody else. I had explained the details in the last class. You can listen to the video, but I don't want to go over it again. So if you are living in Portland and you also want to do a little Krishna Katha program, we are happy to welcome Srimad Bhagavatam in your house. Or you can just obtain it. It is very, very auspicious, and you can obtain it any time of the year, but there is extra benefit and auspiciousness according to Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto, 13th chapter, 13th verse, on the occasion of Bhadra Purnima. So please take advantage of that as well. All right. Anything last minute?
Is it in English or Hindi?
It is available in many languages, in English, in Hindi, in many Indian languages. Bengali, Marathi, all the 4 South Indian languages, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and many other languages, Gujarati. Yeah. If you are
Yes,
interested,
I am having
but
Hindi.
only in Portland we can do that, support that. Elsewhere, you can contact your local ISKCON temple. In Portland, the cost in the US, the cost is $250, includes shipping, delivery, everything. You can take it. We will come and give it to you. You can take it from our house. It is a set of 18 volumes. It almost spans a whole shelf. Those were the announcements. Thank you so much.
No class tomorrow.
Huh? No Bhagavatam
no
class
class.
tomorrow because of the occasion of Radhashtami. We will be celebrating. Next week, there will be Bhagavad Gita class. I'm talking to my wife.
Yes. Both.
Okay, so we will
both
see.
will be there.
Hmm?
Yeah. I mean, both Bhagavatam as well as Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita both will be there next week. No Bhagavatam class tomorrow due to Radhashtami celebrations. All right. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.